Hello there my fellow holotable heroes and welcome to another Conquest video guide. So here I am, Conquest number 10, Sector 1. So in this video I want to show you the teams that I use for both mini boss, Padme team, and then the final boss versus Kenobi. Again, plenty of options here, probably what you can do, but again trying to put teams together that can complete at least one other feat here in Sector, or even some of the global feats as well, so you can reduce the amount of battles you need to do here. To start off, let me show you my inventory. Obviously this is mini boss, so I don't have a whole lot of these yet. I did pick up Vitality and Zealous Ambition disc here to begin with, just to make your characters a little bit tankier, and then support and healers hitting a lot harder. So we got Padme team, we got 2 feats, so this will be the theme going now for the whole Conquest number 10. Mini bosses will simply have 2 feats, whereas before we had 3. So this is a little bit helpful. It reduces the amount of fights we have to do versus mini boss every time. So one feat will also be kind of bounty hunter related, and another one will be don't use bounty hunters. So this one, the bounty hunter related one, you have to use them, but unlike global feats, actually these guys will have to survive, so you have to make sure that Zem survives this battle, otherwise you will not get credited with a feat. Alright, also let's look at the modifiers. Well, Steadfast Retribution, at least not over prepared, but oh man, Steadfast Retribution. Alright, so I'm going with the jungle lead here for a couple of reasons. One is that his contract triggers when you damage debuffed enemies. If you're using Bosk, then you have to hit the weakest enemy, and that's not always the easiest thing to do. And also then when you get a contract from Django, your guys will gain Bounty Hunter Resolve, which obviously give them an extra life whenever they get defeated, which you will need versus this Galactic Republic and their Steadfast Retribution modifier. Obviously I put some good mods on these guys, especially Zam. She's only gear 12, so hopefully she can make it. And then as the 5th one, I'm throwing in here Fennec, just because of that Boba Fennec global feat we have to look for. Again, not using any support characters in here, because here in Sector 1 we have feats where we have to win 14 battles without using supports, and also bringing obviously here Bosk, so he can get Frenzy out, because that's also one of the feats here in Sector 1. Anyway, throw in the thermal detonators first, so then these are locked debuffs and they can't cleanse them off, so we can just keep hitting anybody here and will be credited obviously with progress towards the contract. I think I need one more tap, but I've got Foresight now. Not sure Fennec will make it, but anyway, let's put a kick over there. There we go, contract triggered. Lots of buffs on Anakin. Let's just blow him up. Contract triggered. We're getting now Bounty Hunters Resolve. For a few more thermal detonators. It looks like Boba will have to do all the here defeating. Alright, there goes Fennec. Doesn't really matter. We don't need Fennec alive for the global feat anyway. Just for this feat right here, we have to make sure Zem. Whenever Zem gets a turn, also make sure to spam her AoE that applies evasion down, because that's also one of the feats here in Sector 1. There we go. Boba taking down another one. Yeah, I mean, you still have there Yoda, but after you take a couple of enemies down, these things get a lot easier now. Going after Yoda, I did get Frenzy a couple of times out, so that's pretty good as well. Alright, come on. There we go, one more hit, boom. Boba getting down another one for the global feat. There you go, that's how I've done the Zem feat here, combining with other bounty hunters to get some of the sector and global feats done at the same time. So we don't need to do too many battles. So now we got a second battle to do, the one where we should not be using bounty hunters, and for this one I will actually be using smugglers just to work that towards that global feat. But as you see, they're not at full stamina, especially Han, so my damage output won't be as high as it should have been. So it's going to be a little bit of a struggle. So if you're planning to use smugglers versus Padme, maybe just make sure that they have a high stamina and some good mods so they can get this done, at least until we get some better discs for our guys. But anyway, stunning Anakin, trying to get him not to use his AoE. I landed ability blocks there with Han, so no cleansing with Padme. Obviously keep getting stuck behind here. Kenobi, but luckily Ness can ignore taunt. Come on, one more hit on Anakin. Somebody give me an AoE or something. No AoEs. Oh, okay, that'll work. I'm just going to now use basic here to remove protection buff from Yoda, because he's about to take a turn, so I don't want him to stack courage. Go after Anakin now. Obviously with Kenobi we are now free to go after anybody, but you do want to prioritize obviously Anakin, because otherwise he'll keep getting his bonus turns, then Padme is getting bonus turn. Just basic here again, dispelling that protection up from Padme so she can't stack courage, because without courage these guys can't really do a whole lot of damage. Now Yoda there, he got a lucky shot there just before I was able to finish these guys off, but luckily Padme here and L3 hanging in there. We'll see Isla there with the counterattacks. Let's see if we can land a daze on her. Perfect. Okay, heal up everybody. Get her out. Alright, there we go. Not a 3-star finish, but hey, a smuggler battle done. I'm happy with that. Alright, so let's move on from the mini boss now onto the final boss battle here. So it's versus Kenobi, and funny enough this one's a lot more straightforward here. So as you will see, as mini bosses, also final bosses, the feats have now been simplified from before, whereas we had 3 or sometimes even 4 feats for bosses. Here every time we'll get 2, and then similar like mini bosses, one of them will be kind of relating to bounty hunters, another one basically it says no Jedi Sith or unaligned force users, which kind of means no galactic legends for one of these battles to get done. More likely here in Sector 1, Separatists are not Jedi, are not Sith, and they're not unaligned force users, obviously unless you put Dooku in there or Asajj. So I'll just put kind of standard Grievous lineup here, and we'll get both feats knocked out in a single battle. Now global now the enemy modifiers here, I mean, they don't really cause you all much trouble, because you know, we've got all these AoEs and buff dispels. You can put buff immunity on Kenobi, get around his taunt, but essentially whenever you defeat Kenobi, one of the other clones will get sacrificed instead. You know, and Kenobi obviously is constantly taunting, but once you get buff immunity on him, dispel his taunt, then you can go straight for the clones as well anyway. Now when you're building Separatist squad, just keep in mind we have this feat here in Sector 1, where we should not be using support characters. So if you still didn't complete that feat, make sure to use Separatists that are not support. So if you're just using the standard Separatist droids lineup with Grievous, you know, that you shouldn't have issues. They're all either attackers or tanks, so you'll also do progress towards that feat. I'm just showing my mods on these guys. These are just the mods I have on these guys at all time, because you know in Sector 1, you know, as long as you're kind of relic, maybe it would work even on Gear 12, I'm not sure, but as long as probably your Grievous is relic, he should be able to carry this battle quite easily, especially in combination with some good days like I picked up Vitality to give some extra health and protection to my guys. And this is the team really, nothing too scary here. These guys don't do a whole lot of damage. You have to obviously watch out for Echo, because his AoE can stun droids. Something to look out for. Just do an AoE here. Alright, here they come. Magna Guard hanging there like a champ. Alright, perfect. Let's get buff immunity on everybody. Come on, Grievous, get a turn, buddy. Get a turn. Because then every time you're hitting Kenobi, his allies, clone allies, are gaining bonus turn meter. That's why we're getting so many turns. Let's do an A. There you go. I defeated Kenobi, and then one of the clones went down instead. Was it Clone Sergeant, I think? Alright, I'm just going to go after Echo now, because mentioned before, his AoE grenade can stun your droids. Then let's see if we can stun Arc Trooper. There you go. Once you get buff immunity in Kenobi, you can just ignore him basically. You're getting all these turn meter train roll and whenever you're hitting target locked enemies. There you go, that's how straightforward it was here. The final boss battle in Sector 1. Getting here both feats done in a single battle, no need to retry. Go back in and do it again. Alright guys, so that's all for today's video that I wanted to show you. So this is how I completed here both mini boss and final boss feats here in Sector 1. So able to find these and then all the future videos both on my YouTube channel and on my SWGOH for Life tool website where you can also follow through with a daily plan if you want, or just browse some of the suggestions for different sector feeds that will help you along the way. Alright guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one, but until then, have fun, enjoy your life, and may the RNG be with you, my friends.